everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. So this morning I was just kind of doing some work at my desk and watching some YouTube videos, and I came across Louisa Heinzel's latest video and saw that there's an open collaboration that was a challenge that was issued from Elisa Klatchman on Instagram to both Louisa and Barbara from 49 Dragonflies, and it's an open collaboration and it sounded like so much fun. I just had to jump on it, and I think I'm actually going to make it a two-parter. So the concept is, it's called the Rustic 7 Challenge, and it's using 7 things that are collected by one of your loved ones, by someone else, from somewhere that is not your art studio or craft area, that are not necessarily for that. So I'm going to do part 1, which are the 7 things that my husband gathered. I chose him because the original challenge from Lisa was from her husband came up with this whole challenge, and I thought it was kind of fun to see what my husband would come up with. And also part 2 is from my 5-year-old daughter, because I was really interested in what she would come up with. So I'm going to start today. This video will be what I do with what my husband came up with, and yeah, I don't know. I have to say, I'm already feeling kind of challenged here, because I think, you know, he's a little bit biased in that he knows that what I'm making is with paper. So he did kind of go for things that were primarily paper. You know, he's not completely unaware of what I do. Of course, he's quite involved in what I do. So yeah. Some of it's a little weird. Some of it is just going to be kind of hard to use because it's very junky, and I have to try to make it my style. So the first thing is one of these very annoying things that we always find hanging on our door of our home. It's this Specs Express advertisement with the door handle hanger. So yeah, we get a lot of this kind of thing that happens when we're not home. These people kind of drop by and drop all their advertising here. So this, and it's also quite large, this thing, but it's like a cardstock weight. Well, the other thing is you're allowed to use other things, obviously, in this challenge. And one thing is you're allowed to use a piece of graph paper and something to be the base for your tag. So that being said, next we have a Trivial Pursuit card. Okay, I'm not too upset about this, except that, like, you know, I would probably have looked at it for word snippets, and the first thing I see is what mass murderer was dubbed Leather Apron. So go figure, this would be my luck. Then this is a relatively thick piece of like a cardstock advertisement for, I think, my husband's, possibly his headphones. I don't know. It has these hands, yeah, don't really know what I'm going to do with that. And then some Canadian Tire money. This is 5 cents from Canadian Tire. So if you're not familiar, if you're not Canadian, we have sort of an automotive and hardware sports kind of store that this is like how they give you credit, like coupons. Like you can collect these, you get a certain amount on all your purchases, then you can bring a gigantic wad of them in and like cash them in. You can use them on your purchases basically. And then we have some Martha Stewart organic sweet tomato seeds in a seed packet. And then this little metal bit that I'm kind of excited to use. It's I don't know what it is, but it's like a little piece of metal strapping or something. And then this weird Burger King coupon for $15 off or whatever at Canada's Wonderland. So here we go. So I've been thinking first about the seed packet and the seeds inside. And I also was thinking about, like, how do I normally use organic materials, things that I collect that I don't want to kind of fall off or get, you know, damaged or whatever. So typically I laminate them. And then I was looking at this thing and thinking, like, it's a nice thick piece of paper and it has this little hole here. So it could be, this could be the base where if I did lamination, I could put seeds under here and we could have this fun circle of seeds. But I think what I first have to do is I have to like change how this whole thing looks, and then think about how I want to make use of it. So I think it will be the base for the tag, to be honest. I initially was thinking like making a pocket from it, but if I do lamination I can't because it won't really work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down to maybe say here, and that will be the length of our tag, and then up here I will cut this into the shape of the tag as well. And then we'll have some kind of a start. Okay. So then I think, okay, I think we need to maybe just start covering this surface with something, and I'm trying to decide where to begin here. I'm just looking off to the side of me. I'm looking at my, I have some eco-printed fabric here. I'm not sure if I'll use that or not. You know, I'm gonna just get some supplies. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, so I've grabbed my Rust Effect paste and this art spray, and I think the first thing that I really want to do is to just kind of maybe cover this little bit here with something to hold it in place. So there's nothing saying that I can't just use this for that purpose, right? To just strengthen my tag a bit. So let's do that. This is just to kind of close that gap where this door knocker handle thing goes. I need to change papers here. Okay, and then just glue that on there. Cut the excess off the edges here. Okay, so I think I'm going to apply my my Rust Effect paste actually right directly on this surface and see what happens. So this one is kind of grungy, but I really like it. It's like, it feels a lot like dirt. This one is like the same but not as gritty, so I might just kind of use them both, one finger for each of these pastes, and just try to like cover the whole tag in this Rust Effect paste. Sorry for the little stitch there. Of course, I had to change batteries as soon as I got my fingers messy. So we're still just working on covering this up with this Rust Effect paste here. This is really fun to work with, actually. I'm thinking about if I'm going to laminate over the whole tag or if I'm going to choose maybe some a little bit of paper or something that I will laminate those seeds to and put them in the center, and then maybe trap them in between the paper or something. We'll see. I'm mixing up my colors a little bit. I sort of knew that would happen. I'm like, okay, but it's okay. Alright, so there's that. I'm just gonna try to like rub this off my hands for a minute so I can kind of continue for a little bit. Oh dear. If you ever wondered why my fingers always look erect in videos, this is why, because I'm always doing something like this. Now there's a bit of this. This one's kind of dry. It's like, I know it's probably been left open or something, but I'm gonna see if I can just get a little bit of the patina kind of color in there too. Not tons, but a little bit. And then just kind of give the whole thing a bit of a mix up. Okay. I don't know. I think this one's a little too dry. We'll see. It's surprising, actually. You'd think that this stuff really peels off, but it really doesn't. I've used it many times, and like it actually is a very reliable as something to cover paper with that doesn't come off. Okay, so it needs to dry a bit, but first I want to try to add a little bit of this Marabou, oh yeah, spray. I want a considerable amount because I want this to kind of be the primary color. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. So all kind of patina. Okay, so I'm going to wash these grubby hands and I'm going to dry this with my heat gun. And I think I'm also going to go and I'm going to take some of these seeds and I'm going to lay them down on some coffee dyed paper, a scrap of coffee dyed paper, and I'm going to run them through my laminator, and then I will have the little bit for the window that I want to make there from these tomato seeds. So you know what, I'll show you what they look like before we go. So okay, so there's this bag and then they're inside this little bag here. And these are old seeds that probably are no good anymore because we've had them for so long, but see, this is what they look like. Just little kind of grayish seeds. So I will be back with that, okay? It'll just be a second for you. Okay, so this is all dry now. And I've kind of swept away everything that would fall off of it, so this is all nice and secure. So I did do the lamination of, I chose this blue dyed paper, and you can see there the tomato seeds. So I'm just going to use this one piece. I always do use up the whole lamination. I'll use these for other things. I'll pop them in my Tuesday 10 folder back here that I take things out to use on Tuesdays. So let's just cut out, leaving a little bit of room around the paper here. And hopefully I positioned this okay. I think it might be a little bit long. Yeah, it is. Okay, so that's okay. I'm actually going to cut a little closer to it here. Okay, so I've positioned this tomato seeds right where I want them in the middle, and we'll flip this over. Then I'm just going to grab some regular packing tape. Stick that down here. One more piece. And there we go, that will just completely seal that down so it doesn't move anywhere. Okay. All right, so there's our tomato seeds. I was also thinking about, so the inside of the package is nice silver paper, and then I'm trying to decide, like, okay, what does the inside of this look like? It's just white. So I'm looking at what else I need to use, and I'm also just not really seeing like a focal point in all of this unless we include this crazy looking character, but I don't think so. So that being said, I need to probably try to get creative with like a focal point. Looking at these fingers and thinking, like, could they look kind of like hills or something? And then we have tomatoes, but that doesn't really, I don't think that really does anything for me. Oh, what to do. Okay, you know what? I think I'm just going to tackle another little project here. So these little tickets here, so the one thing about them that I like is like the crease line and the scissors right here on this one. So I think I'll use this one. On this one has one scissors there, so maybe I'll try to use 2 of those. Then I need to cover the text on these because like it's not really very useful. So what do we want to do that with? I need something opaque, I think. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with this gilding paste and see if it will cover. I don't know. I don't think it will because, oh, maybe. See, this is kind of shiny paper, and gilding wax can act a little funny on shiny paper, but it seems actually like it's going to do the job maybe. Yeah, it is. Perfect. Okay, so there's one. Then this one I'm going to do something different. I'm going to use maybe some old book page. I've got this. This is just my glue book here. And I will just grab some book page and tear a little bit out here. Maybe I want to keep the scissors, but I don't want the rest of the this. All right, then maybe a little on that one too, just on the spot that's not particularly gilding wax. Okay, those need to just hang out and dry for a little bit. So while that's happening, I'm going to cut along here. This kind of is funny and ironic that I'm working with these fingers, because one part that I thought was really funny about this whole challenge when Louisa was explaining it was that Eliza had her husband in the video and they both had their left hands like on the desk, kind of like how, you know, when you watch our videos, typically you mainly see our hands, not the rest of us. So it kind of looked like she had 2 left hands, and I thought that was really funny. Arm yourself, the future is ours. Okay, I don't think that really inspires me a whole lot, but I'll keep this to the side because there might be more that I can use on this other than just these bits. And I think, I don't know if I want to cut that apart yet or not, because I'm thinking about like how I could use this, and then I'm going to have to add something else to it to make it like look a little less like figures. And I also want to get rid of this like red blotch here that kind of, I don't know, I don't want it to look like blood or something. So, okay, so let me see how these are doing. They're getting there. I could probably just use my heat gun. I'm going to just dry these with my heat gun. I will be right back. Okay, so I've dried those. Now I need to figure out what I'm going to do with this. So as I mentioned, I think I want to use these in some way. I like them along the side here. I'm thinking also about maybe cutting them apart, but I don't know. think what I'm going to do next is try to make use of this bit of silver here. What else do we have? So we have this tomato package still if I want to use more of it. I've already used the seeds, but I'm just looking to see if there's anything else useful. I mean, there are these round red circles, but red doesn't really go with this. And I don't know if I could change the color really. Let me see something here. If we could change how these tomatoes look, that would be kind of cool, because I do like the fact that they're like round, but it's hard to say. I just really don't want this to be red. Yeah, I don't think that the ink really can penetrate a whole lot just because this is like a seed packet paper. So let's try a bit of coffee too. Maybe we can annoy the coating on this a bit just by soaking it. And then maybe I'll try adding a little bit of my acrylic spray in yellow to the whole thing here. Okay, that is changing it. Of course, you know, we're getting quite wet, but that's okay. All right, yeah, I like how the color has changed here. So now I need to dry this up and see what happens. This may or may not work, I'm not sure, but let me go ahead and dry it and I'll come back again. Okay, that got a little out of control because I accidentally sprayed it instead with, not with the yellow, but with the green. So then I blotted it and I got some of it off, but you know, it stuck around. So I do like though how the package has now changed. I feel like I can use this. You can still see the tomatoes in the background, but like cut into different shapes, it's not going to matter. And I also created this really fun piece of paper and the one underneath for collage fodder. So I think I can use these maybe together because I don't think this will give me enough material, but yeah. Okay, so now I'm thinking about, so I've got this bit of silver here. I still have these tickets that I need to use that I've made now with that stuff. And then I've still got this card that I need to use. So we've still got lots kind of to go, but I feel like it's starting to kind of come together in my head. So the hard one for me, I think, will be this Canadian Tire money. Now, what I see here that's interesting on this is this mark here. See this little kind of money, you know, fine little mark? I'm thinking that would be great as maybe the center of like a flower or something like that. So if we just kind of cut this out in like an oblong kind of ovally shape. Okay, set that away over here. Just kind of even it out a little. All right, so there's this. Okay, so that's something that I feel like I can use, and I might glue it down to this bit of silver to just kind of give it a little more focus so that we don't completely lose track of what we're trying to do. And then I'm going to tear around this. Oops. Okay. This packet has plastic on the inside here, so there we go. Kind of make it a nice, sensible shape. All right. Where am I going with this? Oh my goodness. Okay. Still just kind of thinking here. Just bear with me. All right. Maybe I should just commit to gluing those down because I think I do like them there. I like the fingers there. So let me glue those down and we'll commit. Now I could also use this as like a side tuck, but then of course then I have to make another tuck in little piece of ephemera, which would be even more daunting maybe. And then I couldn't keep the tag as like the focal point, right? So I think it's best I just glue these down now. Oops. Just kind of got to give that a little press because it's a little bit hard. Shiny paper being glued down to this rusty effect stuff. It's a little weird, but not too bad. No. Okay. I might need to stitch that on to keep it in place. I'm planning to stitch around this as I normally do anyways. This is a little bit stressful. Not gonna lie, a little bit stressful. I'm gonna just cut like petals, a few petals out of here. Okay. I think I can maybe get one more right there. All right. Just going to move these to the side for a second. I'm also going to cut petals with these because I think I need a little more than what I will have. Also, I just love this piece of paper. It's just yummy. Okay. All this off to the side. Oh, and then I still have this to use as well. Kind of think I could cover maybe that up with that, and like I might need to get stitched on, I think, kind of like a button onto there. That would be pretty cool. I was thinking initially like using it like the top, like a tag, but like, I don't know. I think with the circle, it might kind of take away from that. So I think I'll do that, and I'll put this bit of red that's right there, like in the center of this, like so. And that will be the last thing I do because I want to stitch around first. So, all right. So what I'm thinking about is, kind of like a focal point here with these. And just alternating between the two. Okay, so the flower has been glued down, and okay, I now need to figure out how I want to use these little coupon things that we made. Okay, I'm thinking about, I know I said I liked the scissors that were on them. I don't know. I don't want to make this too strangely abstract. I think I want to do this. Maybe use that up here. Okay. Whoops. Again with the glue, the challenge on this. It does stick, it's just it needs another moment to grab. There we go. Now it's okay. So there's one piece. Then if I have another piece with scissors, which I do, I think I'll use that down here maybe. Just to kind of add a little continuity between the top and the bottom. This is really not easy, holy moly. Okay. But I don't feel so bad because I know Louisa said she spent like hours or a day on her tag. So yeah, totally understandable at this point. Totally understood. Okay, then I feel like maybe there could be some benefit from more of these petals, but in a different color. Yeah, totally. Okay. Okay, so I have made some more petals here, and I used the cutaway from the petals to just kind of do this up here, and I like that. I think I'm probably going to do some stitching around there, so I think it might add to the whole feeling. Now, I want to take the look of fingers away from the fingers a bit, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingernails, and I'm hoping I can tear sort of like 5 shapes out of this that will just kind of come across here like a cloud or something, like something to just draw attention away from this to okay. All right. Let's pull that plastic off there. Okay, yeah, that makes things a little better. I like that. So now we just need to glue these down. Whoops. Getting a little messy with the glue here. Down, down, down. Yeah, that kind of takes away the whole look of the fingers, and I think it's going to get even better once I do my stitching. So I think that's the part that's going to come next. So I'm going to go do some stitching on this. I think the stitching is really going to add to the overall feel of this. So I will be back in just a moment, and we are going to do some stitching on this. So just a moment. Okay, I got all my stitching done, and I really do feel like it's just really pulled it together. So I've stitched through these parts, stitched around the flower, stitched around what feels kind of like a moon to me. Yeah, okay, so I backstitched here, took my thread out and just did a line of dots with my sewing needle, so that was kind of fun. Now I need to figure out what to do with this. So I need to look at this and decide, is there something on here? Oh, maybe this, upside down as right side up. I like that, I like that. Because I honestly feel like this is like a good way to describe this challenge. Everything is going awry. Anything else on the back here? I don't think so. These little bits here could be very cute, but I don't know. Actually, I have a little idea, maybe. Okay, let's just get this cut a little bit more. Okay, so we will stick down this little word snippet here. I think I'll put it like, I need it to go somewhere that makes sense. I mean, it could go right on the flower. It could go up here. It could go right here. I'm thinking right here. Upside down as right side up. There, just stick that down. Give it a little press here. Then I'm tempted to kind of put a little bit of ink on it to kind of break up that white a little bit. Not a ton, just a little. There we go. Okay. Just giving it a good press. There we go. That's really fun. I'm happy with this tag a lot now, actually. Okay. Now, the other thing I was thinking about was the two, you know how we always cut like this on the corner of a tag? Well, I'm thinking about like how bookends look. So if I cut these here, or not bookends, but like book corners, I could do one here and one here. And that would kind of be like a little, you know, ode to the fact that I'm using this Trivial Pursuit card and it like doesn't get completely obliterated from the concept. So pop that here. Okay. Then this one has to go that way. Okay. I'm glad they're the same on both sides. Two. We'll just hold those both there for 2 seconds. Okay. Now they're on. Now that leaves us with needing to stitch on the metal piece. So I will do that now. I don't think I really want to do anything else to it. It's kind of grungy already, and so I'm just going to stitch it on, and I think I'm going to keep it right where I said I was, I think like right here. So I need some embroidery floss to do that. And let's see what I have hanging out here. Anything of length in my ort so I don't have to go relocate to grab something. Let's see. There's some black in here. Okay, let's just pull this. This is actually yarn. That works too. All right. So let's thread our needle. My fingers are so gluey. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let me position this where I want it, right like this, I think, or maybe one further out. Yeah, one further out like that. Then I will poke a hole. 1, 2, and we'll go through all 3 holes. 3. So I'm actually going to leave the long bit up here this time. Go right back through my hole, and I'm just going to kind of like weave through all of them until I have a nice secure kind of bind. Should only need about 2 to 3 layers because this is a good strong wool yarn actually. Okay, go up once more through here. Oops. There we go. Then back down one more through here, and then come one final time back here. Then, okay, we've got a good amount of yarn there. So now let's just tie a knot. In the center, double knot. There we go. And then I'll let these 2 little strings just kind of hang on down a bit, dangle. Okay, we've used all the stuff. Can you believe it? So then all I would need to do is just back the back, but I don't even think I will because I'm going to be putting this in my journal. And kind of writing about this challenge. So thank you for joining me today on this wacky adventure. Okay, so we are all done, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. I think it's very fun. I will link below Elisa Klatchman's account, Instagram. She's the one who came up with this. Well, actually, it was her husband, so thank you, Mr. Klatchman, for coming up with this. It's been so much fun to take part in, and I will be back with what my daughter has chosen for me in part 2, and I'll see if I can actually get her to participate and tell you a little bit about the things that she chose. She's very much a ham, and she does enjoy talking to people and talking to the camera, so I'll see what I can do. All right, have a lovely day. I'm gonna go wash these grubby fingers now. Bye.